Good morning, dolls, and welcome to Little Gretchen's workshop. So today is August 1st, 2022, and we are celebrating and kicking off our month-long celebration for the channel reaching the 1,000 subscriber mark. That is incredible. I am so, like I said, humbled and honored that you all have chosen to be with me here on Little Gretchen's workshop and to celebrate with me here today. So the way we're going to celebrate, those of you if you hadn't heard my announcement, on Mondays we're going to be doing a project preparing the dining room for the dolls celebration at the end of the month. And on Wednesday, the video will be a deep dive into my original dollhouse. So let's go on with our project for today, which is our dining room. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you the state of the dining room right now. And I'm going to show you the finishes that I've chosen to finish the dollhouse dining room to get it ready. And I'm also going to show you my choices for furniture and other decorations. So let's go ahead and get to the video. I just want to thank each and every one of you for being here. So let's go. So dolls, here we are in the rooming house dining room. It's a good sized room and there's plenty of room for furniture. So there's several things I need to do to get it together. Now, for starters, I do need to address the issue of this really rugged, rough window. I put it in many years ago and didn't do a very good job. And I had to remove the original frame, and I'm going to have to replace that frame and smooth out the wall around that area so that the wallpaper will lay flat and flush. Now, I do have the frame that I'm going to use on that window, but and it fits really, really well. It's already been prepared and stained and varnished, but I will need to remove that little lip around the edge. And you dolls saw me do it in a couple earlier videos. I actually removed it to show you, but I'll actually show it again in this sequence so you'll see what I did. And I will have to smooth out all that roughness around it. So that's one part that I definitely need to address before I can move forward. I also need to sand down those walls a little to get some of the roughness out. Now, again, I talked about how nice and big the room is. It is a good size. It's actually the same size as the cafe. And the only difference is this room doesn't have an outside door. There's just beautiful set of doors that separates it from the utility room. Now, I bought this back in 2020 and finished it back then specifically for this room. So I've saved it all of this time, that and the window frame. So dolls, the plans I've had for this have been here a long time, so I'm really excited about putting it all together. So I'm removing those two pieces to show you the template that I created. Now I'm pretty set on using this template to create the floor that I want to make. I don't want to use the template to make the regular plank floors. I believe that a dining room should have a grander, more elaborate floor. And I'm going to show you what I made previously. I won't use it, but I am going to use the same concept. Now, this is a floor that I made a couple years ago, and I really like the idea of it, but I have some new ideas as far as the design I want to use. And it is a parquet floor. My lines aren't perfectly straight, but I do like the concept. So I'm definitely going to utilize this in making the parquet floor again for the rooming house dining room. So I will do a video showing you how I create my parquet floors. So now, dolls, let's talk walls and ceiling. Well, let's talk ceiling and walls. And when I talk about the ceiling, I definitely am going to use this embossed paper. Now, I have used this on several rooms of the rooming house, dollhouse, to cover up some of the imperfections in the ceiling and in my spackle work with my plaster. And just so you dolls know, I found this in the scrapbooking section at my local craft store. So dolls, this is a moment I've waited for so long. Let's talk walls. This is the wallpaper that I chose 2 years ago for the rooming house dining room. I absolutely love the color, and it's a beautiful quality paper. It has a nice finish to it. It's heavy, and it's going to be really, really easy to install because it is heavier and it is a little better quality than some of the papers that I've used on some of the other rooms in the dollhouse. So yeah, I've been holding on to this for quite some time for this project. So now let's talk furniture. Now, dolls, this is the lovely dining room table that I made from a kit. And if you haven't seen that video, definitely check it out in my furniture playlist. It was absolutely so much fun making it. And you see it has a leaf, so I can assemble it and make it smaller or make it bigger. But I'm definitely going to need it big for this particular event, preparing for the dolls' party. And I said I might put a little wax in between there to keep it together so I won't drop anything. But I like being able to take it apart, dolls. So I'm going to have to think about a solution for that so I can make sure it's stable during the party. But I really love it. I actually had considered varnishing it or maybe making the stain a little darker. But I'll definitely decide before the party starts. Now this is a lovely piece I really wanted to show you, dolls. It's a china cabinet that I purchased a couple years ago specifically for this room. This was one of the first pieces I actually bought for the dining room because I feel like the china cabinet kind of anchors the look and you kind of work around the largest piece or the most prominent piece in a room setting or design. I really love the rich red mahogany look. And I'm really excited about filling the shelves and the drawers with all kinds of wonderful little treasures. I'm actually feeling like I might want to buy some more things to put in here, but I'll look and see what I have to see if what I already have will adequately fill the spaces. But I'm really excited about making some things as well. So I need to make a list of the things that I need for a china cabinet to be appropriately filled for a rooming house dollhouse. So I'm going to work on that, dolls, because I have a lot of ideas. So let's put that away for now. So I want to show you some of the other pieces of furniture that I've purchased and collected specifically for this project. And I'm more or less just going to let you see everything and just kind of give you a idea of what I'm envisioning for the layout or the plan for the party. So this is a lovely little set of chairs that I actually purchased from, I do believe it was Dollhouses and More. I really like the color because I was going for that whole reddish mahogany. Now it's quite a bit redder than the china cabinet, but I still like the design on the back of the chairs. That was what really made me want to buy it. But I did change the upholstery. The seats are not the original design for the seat. I actually reupholstered them. And I do want to encourage you, dolls, to modify things to suit your own taste. You don't have to leave things exactly the way they came. So dolls, here are two more lovely chairs that I purchased off eBay. I really can't call them a set because it's only one armchair and one side chair, but they were beautiful. Someone was breaking up a collection and I thought these two pieces were lovely and I just had to have them. Maybe one day I'll find another side chair and another armchair. So if you haven't realized it by now, dolls, my style is more or less eclectic. I like a little bit of everything. Now I found these two lovely chairs as well. Now these pieces are actually from the company called Bezpack. It was a great find. Again, found it on eBay. And it was only two of them, but I thought they were so pretty and in such good condition, I just had to have them. These are the type of pieces I used to yearn for as a little girl, and things like this were a little bit out of reach in those days. So now that I can have them, I made sure that they were a part of this project. So I'm really excited about both of these sets of chairs that I purchased, and I think they're going to fit in really good in the rooming house dining room. Now keep in mind the dolls are going to have additional guests in the house, so I'm going to need extra chairs. So I found a set of 4 little Shackman chairs on eBay as well. And they're lovely, but I did reupholster them because I didn't like the upholstery that was on them. And because they were pretty old, the upholstery was stained. So I used some foam and some stretchy velvet fabric that I had laying around to reupholster them. I think it makes them look great, and I think the color is going to blend in well with the upholstery of the other chairs that I've selected for the room. So this gives a nice array of seating for the dolls. Now dolls, I'm actually considering an additional table for the food because I'm not sure if the dining room table is going to have enough room for all of the food we're having. So I may have to make some adjustments during the party. And I hope you dolls don't mind right now. I'm just playing. I'm rearranging things, trying to get a visual idea of how the furniture will be arranged during the party. And as I mentioned, the other table. Now, I do have a part of my dollhouse that extends out past the room. It's a part of the platform. So I may actually extend my parquet floor all the way out to the edge of the platform base. Yes, I think I'm going to modify that template to come all the way out. It'll give me more room. So I did have one more piece I didn't show you, dolls. It's the buffet table. Isn't this lovely? I purchased this off of eBay in a bundle or a lot of items they were selling together, breaking up at someone else's collection. So I thought it was an awesome find. I don't recognize the company or the branding. If someone knows who it is, definitely let me know in the comments. But it's lovely. All of the pieces I got in that bundle were vintage and of exceptional quality. And as you can see, dolls, it's quite dusty. It's been sitting in the rooming house attic for quite some time, so I definitely need to get it cleaned and polished up for the party. To me, it looks like the perfect place to put the desserts. Yes, this will be the dessert table. So let me show you, dolls, the old dining room table, which will be the one that I will consider as the additional food table. Yes, this was a table that I originally had for the rooming house dining room prior to making the one that I'll be using. So this one, I believe I'll put a tablecloth on it and it will be filled with the main course. So yes, if I extend the dining room floor out to the platform, there'll actually be room for the dolls to dance and the additional table. So yes, that's my plan. So dolls, this is what I mean when I encourage you to play. Your imagination blossoms in the midst of play. Dolls, you have to see what you have and arrange things and see how they look together. Move things around, see what goes together, see if something you may never have considered, if it'll work out. Again, just take the time to play. Then your imagination can bloom and expand so that you can have full vision for your project. Dolls, you don't have to be rigid and set. Open yourself up so that your creativity can live. Consider all your possibilities. Now here, dolls, I want to show you the crown of the dining room, which would be this beautiful chandelier. Now, I absolutely love it, and I actually bought several of them for this project. And I really like it a lot, except it's a little bright and brassy. I may need to tone down that bright brassiness with my rub and buff, but I'll do that in another project. But I really want you dolls to see it and just see how lovely it is and how delicate the chains are in the design. Now, dolls, you know that I only use battery-powered lights. My houses are not electrified. But look how beautiful that glow is. I think that's absolutely stunning. I believe it's going to look absolutely enchanting with the wallpaper and the beautiful parquet floor. I just think that looks great. And the one thing that's really, really awesome about it, LED battery-powered lights, the batteries are replaceable. To me, battery lights are totally convenient. You literally attach them to the ceiling with a magnet, no wiring. Look how beautiful that is. I just love the glow. And you turn it off and on with a little bitty, teeny tiny switch. And that's the magnet that you pull apart and glue it to the ceiling where you want it. And if you look really closely here, there's a tiny switch that you switch off and on. And when you turn it off, and then you click it right back to the magnet on the ceiling, and you're all set. Now, I'm not going to do that until after I've done all my finishes, but I did want you dolls to see how lovely the chandelier was that I chose. So I'm just playing around here with some of the chairs, just still configuring the room for the party. Now, if you dolls enjoyed this video, definitely let me know in the comments. Also, like, share, and subscribe, and always look for me on Mondays and Wednesdays after 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm enjoying preparing everything for you dolls for this celebration, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on Wednesday on the next episode of Little Gretchen's Workshop. Bye-bye now, dolls.